Good afternoon. I have a little flip through here. Spring has sprung here in southern Ontario in Canada. So I have a little gardening themed journal. Now this is an old book and I've used upholstery fabric for the spine and the lining of the inside, and I did a little bit of embroidery on through the cover of this book. Even this little girl's flowers in her arms are embroidered. They're little French knots. So let's go in, and there's the fabric that makes the spine and attaches the front and back cover. Now this is the closure. A little bit of this is stretchy lace, so it'll keep with the hitching post, and it'll keep the little journal closed. Now the spine, I cut it off and I made a bookmark out of it. So here we go. It's a 2 signature, and I decorate with book pages and papers I find at Value Village. This I folded over, and the book page. This is a photocopy of an antique ledger that I have. So I made it into a little journaling tag. Interoffice envelope. I cut it down to fit this specifically. That's an Edith Holden book page top. And I have a little gardening quotes book. So I put a little quote in this pocket. And then another little quote on this page to decorate it up. A little bit of stenciling with, what do they call it? Light and fluffy modeling paste, and I colored it with a little powder. And then some pages here. This flips up, a little stenciling with the vintage photo. I fold the page over if it's too large, just to, I like layering. I like the look of layering, so a little stenciling there. Some music sheet paper. Oh, and that's a little flower. Chrissy Crosser does her little flowers. I made a few, so one of them got in here. This is a book page. A little sewing around it. Little sticker there. Oh, it's beautiful. And then ledger paper. That's out of a modern book. And the back of this has little poems in it. That's a little vellum sticker. And this is vellum paper. Flips up. Oh, and this, this is so cute. During COVID, I learned how to do embroidery, and this is like a little ladybug. I made it like a tab. Did it on linen. So that made it into here. And a little more stenciling. This is a notepad. So it's a flip up. I got quite a few flip ups in this one, so it gives you a little extra journaling space. And that's a die cut. I use my hanging file folders. They're dark green, and then I use it. This is wallpaper actually, and I glued it on top, so it gives a little more interest on your die cuts. There's a flip out, a little distressing there. There's the back of that Interoffice envelope. Oh, this is cute. I try to make my own whale tail punches, like tabs, but smaller. So it's a circle with a little chunk cut out when you fold it in half. And it holds this, so there's a little spot to journal, and it slips under there. And then this paper opens up and a little stamping in there with lines. So that goes in there. Oh, this is a stenciled sheet, a little sheet of paper, and that book page folds over to make a nice little tuck, and I sewed around it. I love those books. Oh, they're so beautiful. So there's the second signature starting here, and this I just left it as a flip out. And this is a little piece of paper, planning in life. I figured kind of a loosely garden themed. And this came in Happy Mail. It's a little, it's probably off a digital kit. It was an envelope. And I put this little pocket on there. And a little tag, journaling spot. Of course, I'm not going to be able to get it in there at that angle. Oh boy, I'm not going to give up. There we go. And then in here is a, this was writing paper in a pad at the dollar store. So I just decorate the inside with papers I have, and then I did distress ink on my glass mat with some stamping and sewed around it. So that just slips in there. It's a little journaling card. And this is some papers, a little sewing. It holds this guest check down, a little distressing. This is, I think, the cut off of that other book page. That's a little sticker. This one is a coloring book. Lots of journaling spots in this one. Oh, and this is like a vellum sheet. Look how pretty that is. So it flips up, right? That's washi tape holding it on with the sewing. And this is writing paper. And that's a little journaling card. There we go. Now this is a little flower I made. I made it into a tab on another book page. A little sewing. My sewing machine does fancy stitches. Seed bag. The back of that paper. That's lovely, that paper. And this is a tag I made. This was on a scrapbooking piece of paper. And I did the little wax seal with some Battenberg lace on there. Oops, that's the back of that beautiful ledger book I have. I just photocopy it. I can't bring myself to cut it up, never. And then the fold out of that little snug. And then there's the back. Now, if somebody didn't want to use this, this can lay here, this bit of lace. But it does close up nicely. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and thanks for coming to my YouTube channel. Bye-bye.